at 6. CBS 47 Fox 30 Action News Jax starts right now.
Action News Jax following two big stories tonight. It is a first alert weather day across our area. A live look now at St. Augustine Beach. Winds and rain picking up there and throughout northeast Florida and southeast Georgia. Plus, witness testimony began in the trial of the men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery last year in Brunswick. The state's first witness, an officer who responded to the scene after the 25-year-old was shot and killed.
Did you get the opportunity to review your body cam video from that day?
Yes, I did.
All right. When I showed it to you, was it a fair and accurate depiction of the body cam video of your actions on the afternoon of Sunday, February 23rd, 2020?
Yes.
And there were a lot of technical difficulties trying to play that graphic body camera video in court today. I'm Tanika Hughes, live in Brunswick, just feet away from the courthouse where the trial is taking place.
And I'm John Bachman. We are going to get back to the trial in 3 minutes, but nasty weather in our area was top of mind today. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burris joins us live in the First Alert Weather Center now. Mike, today's First Alert Weather Day going to continue into tomorrow. Drivers need to be careful tonight.
Right, a lot of wind and plenty of water, and the next high tide cycle will be between 9 and 11, so especially the intracoastal and the beaches, there's going to be a good deal of water just from the ocean, but also from the sky, although we've seen a split in the rainfall for the moment. Heavy area of rain to the north and west of Jacksonville, and that'll continue here from Waycross to near and just north of Lake City, and then a heavy rain band is just about stuck over St. Augustine, and in between, not much now. So this is your chance to run out and maybe do a quick errand, get the dog out the door for a few minutes or whatever the case might be. It's still a gusty wind, but it's at least drier. And this rain will have a tendency to pinwheel back into our area overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. And the winds stay strong. These are wind gusts for Jacksonville through tonight into early tomorrow morning. Gusts approaching 40 miles per hour near and west of Interstate 95. But you get to the coast to Jacksonville Beach, and this starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with wind gusts around 40 to 50 miles per hour, and will still be gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour through late tomorrow afternoon into the early evening hours. Check out our Skycam network here. This is Orange Park, First Alert Skycam network, the flag blowing, the white caps on the St. Johns River. It is rough. This is Jacksonville Beach, and we're still a few hours away from that high tide, and see how high the water is. And then we go to Jekyll Island in Georgia. White caps evident here too. Water high up onto the beaches, and then finally downtown where it's an overcast sky with some drizzle and light rain. So we're tracking this nor'easter through the night tonight into your weekend, which part of the weekend will finally turn a little bit nicer. And Alyssa Pejic will also break down county by county what you can expect in the First Alert forecast in about 15 minutes.
All right, to keep up with the rain and the wind moving into your neighborhood or to track temperatures as they fall, download the First Alert weather app. It's free for Android and Apple devices.
And right now I am live in Brunswick, Georgia, where court adjourned for the day. In the last 15 minutes or so, moments ago, we heard from the family attorney, and we also saw the mother of Ahmaud Arbery leave the court and talk about what an emotional day this has been. This was the first day she saw video of her son's death. Now, this morning, the jury in the trial for the three men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery were sworn in, and then soon after, opening statements began from both the state and the defense, but the state presenting its case first. There was a lot of controversy over what was said. The defense argued that the state was presenting closing arguments rather than opening. At one point, attorney Kevin Goff, who represents William Roddy Bryan, called for a mistrial despite the other defense attorneys saying differently. Attorneys for father and son, Travis and Gregory McMichael, did present their opening statements this afternoon. Goff instead opting to present his opening statements after the state finishes presenting its evidence. And the judge at first appeared to be confused by the move.
I'll tell you, Mr. Goff, I've been doing this for almost a decade, and this is the first time counsel has asked for that.
Yes, we have the right to do that under 10.2. It was not always clear, but it became clear.
Now, the judge agreed to hear those statements later on in the trial. So from there, the state called their first witness, an officer, to give his testimony. And again, we also saw some of that body camera video. Now, Action News Jax has live team coverage for you. Our law and safety expert, Dale Carson, is breaking down the charges that the suspects are facing. Ben Ryan speaking to a parent who's been in the Ahmaud Arbery family's shoes before. But we start with Action News Jax. Kristen Rary. Kristen, the court was only able to get to one witness today, and some of that was because of technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's right. They did face some technical difficulties, which created a little bit of a delay. But following those opening statements from the prosecutor and two of the attorneys for the defense, they did bring that first witness onto the stand. And with that witness, they brought up some pretty gruesome video. Before Glynn County Police Department Officer William Duggan takes the stand, Judge Timothy Walmsley warned those in the room if they would be disturbed by body cam video from the day of the shooting, they should step out. The video, which shows Ahmaud Arbery's body on the ground covered in blood, was played just after the officer recounted his experience from that day.
And what did that man covered in blood, seated over there, say to you when you asked him, "Are you okay?"
It was a quick reply of basically, no, I'm not okay. I just effing killed somebody.
And we did hear from some pretty powerful moments in those opening statements. Coming up at 6:30, I'm going to go back through some of those most impactful moments that we heard today. Live in Brunswick, Kristen Rary, Action News Jax.
This morning, the judge ruled jurors would be allowed to see video that shows the decorative license plate on the McMichaels truck. It shows an old Georgia flag that includes a Confederate emblem. The defense wanted it blurred out of any video shown in court. We told you yesterday the judge ruled jurors would get to see the police body camera video recorded when officers responded to the shooting of Ahmaud Arbery in February of 2020. The defense wanted it excluded, calling it graphic and, quote, not relevant. And in another ruling in favor of the prosecution, the judge said the defense cannot call a use of force expert to explain the training Travis McMichael received in the Coast Guard.
And while all eyes are on Brunswick right now, it was nearly 9 years ago when another local case involving race made national headlines. Take a look at your screen right now at a photo of Jordan Davis. He was 17 years old when he was shot and killed in the parking lot of a gas station by Michael Dunn after an argument over loud music. Dunn was convicted in his death and sentenced to life in prison. And tonight, Davis's father is speaking about what Ahmaud Arbery's family may be going through during this time. And Action News Jax' Ben Ryan has his message.
I spoke with Jordan Davis's father, Ron, who said while trial was an extremely difficult process, he says it comes second to everything else that he had to go through before it. Nearly 9 years ago, an argument over loud music turned deadly. Michael Dunn took out a pistol from his car and began shooting at the car 17-year-old Jordan Davis and his friends were in, killing Davis. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to life prison in the second trial after the jury couldn't reach a verdict at the first one. Similar to the Arbery case, this case had racial overtones throughout its entirety, sparking protests and marches throughout the country. Now with opening statements underway in the trial of the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, Davis's father Ron says reliving the moments will be difficult, but is hoping the Arbery family can stay strong.
Fight for your son together, stand side by side, and no matter how bleak it looks sometimes, continue to fight. Never give up for your son, and always make sure that he's going to be very, very proud of you. And I know Jordan is proud of his parents.
And Davis's father, Ron, also said that they tried to paint a picture of his son as what he described as a thug, which he said was degrading to hear. Ron also said that seeing Michael Dunn on a daily basis was just yet another part that made everything so hard. And I'll have more on the challenges that the entire family faced tonight on Action News Jax at 10 and 11. For now reporting, Ben Ryan, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
And I'm here live with Action News Jax law and safety expert Dale Carson, who has decades of experience in law enforcement, is currently an attorney. He's been offering his insight on this trial for us for weeks now. Dale, I want to run through the charges first, and then we have a couple of questions. So, Travis McMichael, he is the son of Gregory McMichael, who is the father, and then William Roddy Bryan, who is the neighbor. Now, all are facing state charges of malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit a felony. Dale, break down what is the difference between malice murder and felony murder?
Well, malice murder is simply doing something that is inherently dangerous and results in a death. Felony murder is, I happen to be there when one of my cohorts for a robbery shoots and kills somebody. I am chargeable as a principal with felony murder.
I want to ask another question about potential sentences if they are convicted. They are being tried at the same time. Does that mean that they'll automatically get the same sentence if they're convicted?
No, it does not. And the judge made that really clear today. I mean, they can be found guilty or innocent of the charges based on an individual proof by the state attorney's office of the elements of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt.
And you touched on this a bit in your first response. Talk about the notion of being a party to a crime and how they ended up being charged the way they were charged.
Right. The son and the neighbor were both driving cars and, according to the government, tried to run Arbery over. So that's a felony right there. And it's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, the truck. Then the father was just there, essentially, and he's the one who's the party to the crime. In Florida, that would be felony murder because he was present when the death actually occurred. But those two fellows were the drivers and operators of the vehicles that chased him down, kidnapped him, if you would look at it that way. And also, the son is accused of shooting Arbery, and so he should be charged with malice murder.
All right, Dale, thank you so much for your insight. Now, coming up in about 5 minutes, you heard me mention that Ahmaud Arbery's mother saw a video of her son's death today for the first time. She had not watched that video. You're going to hear from her about what that moment was like. We're going to have that in just a few moments, John.
All right, Tamika.